They said the world was cruel, but 16-year-old Lily had never expected it to be this cruel. Blind since childhood, she had learned to navigate the world by sound, touch, and the rhythm of her own courage. Yet courage meant little in a dusty, western town where desperation turned people into monsters. On a scorching afternoon, Lily was led by rough hands toward the old wooden auction platform at the center of Bitter Creek. She didn't know why. The men were dragging her, but the whispers in the crowd told her everything she needed to know. They're selling her, a blind girl, for $1. No family left, no one to claim her. Poor child, her heart hammered against her ribs, breath unsteady, but she remained silent. She had learned long ago that crying never saved anyone. She stood barefoot on the platform, the hot wood burning her skin, while people clapped and shouted bids as if she were cattle. $1, a drunken man yelled, laughing with his friends. Another offered 50 cents. Someone suggested using her as labor. Lily swallowed down her fear and folded her trembling hands together. She tried to imagine her late mother's voice, soft and warm, telling her that the world still had good people in it. But standing there, hearing the cruelty around her, she wasn't sure such people existed anymore. The sheriff watched with disinterest. The auctioneer slapped the post with a wooden stick. Sold for $1, he announced, his voice sharp and mocking. Lily felt the air shift as the man who bought her moved forward. His boots scraped the wood. His breath smelled of whiskey, and his hands reached for her arm. She stiffened, ready to be dragged away to whatever fate awaited her. But before the man touched her, another sound cut through the crowd, hooves approaching fast, stopping abruptly, and then silence. A strange, heavy silence, the kind that came only when fear turned into respect. The crowd parted, murmuring. Lily didn't know what was happening, but she could feel that the energy changed. Someone dismounted quietly. Slow, calm footsteps approached. The drunken man froze. Even the auctioneer went quiet. Then Lily felt something she hadn't felt in a long time, a gentle hand taking hers. Not rough, not greedy, not unkind, just steady, warm, and certain. The man didn't speak, not yet, but the way he held her hand made her knees weak. He turned toward the auctioneer. The crowd waited, breath held. Finally, the cowboy's deep voice broke the silence. "I'll take her," the drunken man protested. "I paid for her." But the cowboy didn't raise his voice. He simply tossed something onto the platform. The metallic clink echoed across the street. Coins. Silver coins, far more than $1. "This ends now," he said. Even without sight, Lily knew he was different. She could sense strength, kindness, and something else, something protective. The auctioneer swallowed hard and stepped back. "Yes, sir, if you want her. She's yours." The cowboy squeezed Lily's hand lightly, as if asking permission. She didn't know who he was, where he came from, or why he had intervened. But for the first time in years, she felt safe. She whispered, "Why did you save me?" The cowboy paused, his voice dropping low. "Because no one else had the courage to." And just like that, he guided her down from the platform while the entire town watched in stunned silence. Some glared, some whispered, some bowed their heads in shame. Lily walked beside him, unsure of her future, but grateful that fate, or maybe God, had sent someone who still had goodness left in his heart. And as they left the auction place behind, the wind carried away the sound of coins, the sound of laughter, and the sound of cruelty. In their place remained only footsteps, hers and his beginning. A journey she never expected. A journey that would change both of their lives. The silent cowboy led Lily away from the chaos of Bitter Creek, guiding her with a gentle grip that never once tightened or rushed her. She could hear the soft jingle of his spurs, the creak of his leather saddle, and the calm rhythm of his breathing. They walked until the noise of the town faded behind them. When they reached his horse, he helped her climb into the saddle with a carefulness that surprised her. She sensed he was a man who rarely spoke, not because he had nothing to say, but because he chose his words with purpose. After a long moment, she asked softly, "What should I call you?" He hesitated, then replied, "Cole, just Cole, no last name, no title. Just a quiet man whose presence felt safer than any wall or weapon." As they rode across the open plains, Lily began to relax. The wind brushed her hair, the scent of wild sage drifted around them, and she felt the warmth of the sun on her face. But questions filled her mind. Why did they sell me? she whispered. Cole's voice was low and steady. Your guardian owed money. He ran. They took you instead. Lily's chest tightened. She knew her guardian wasn't a good man, but she never imagined he'd leave her behind like an object. Cole continued, I've seen towns do cruel things, but what they did to you, that was different. That was wrong. Lily bit her lip. Why did you help me? She didn't expect him to answer quickly, but he did. Because someone once saved me when I was alone. His voice carried old pain, unspoken memories, and a promise he made long ago. They rode until they reached a small cabin hidden behind cottonwood trees. Cole dismounted, then lifted Lily gently down. This is my place, he said quietly. You can stay here until we figure out what comes. Next, Lily felt the wooden porch under her feet. She sensed safety in the air, a comfort she had long forgotten. For the first time in days, she wasn't afraid. Inside, Cole lit a lantern and guided her hand to the table. The chair, the edge of the bed, letting her learn the space through touch. She smiled faintly. You're very patient. You deserve patience, he replied. Days passed. Cole cooked for her, taught her the paths around the cabin, warned her about uneven ground, and never once treated her like she was helpless. He asked nothing from her except one thing, to believe in herself again. Slowly, she did. She started humming while she cleaned the table. She learned to walk confidently across the yard by counting steps. She began smiling more, even laughing. And Cole, he noticed every small victory, every small light returning to her. But Bitter Creek hadn't forgotten her. One evening, the sheriff arrived, demanding Lily be handed over. She was sold legally, he growled. She belongs to the town's buyer. Cole stepped in front of Lily without hesitation. His voice was calm but iron strong. She belongs to no man. The sheriff reached for his gun. Cole didn't move. He didn't flinch, but his eyes held the kind of fire that made even armed men reconsider. You want her? Cole asked softly. You'll have to go through me. The sheriff swallowed hard. Everyone in the county knew Cole, knew his past, knew that silent cowboys were often the deadliest ones. After a tense moment, the sheriff backed down. Fine, he muttered, turning away. Keep her, but don't expect the town to forget this. When he left, Lily stepped forward, her hands trembling until they touched Cole's chest. You protected me again, she whispered. He held her hands gently. I'll keep doing it, he said, as long as you want me to. She felt tears warm her cheeks. I want you to, she said. I don't want to be alone anymore. Cole brushed her hair, back with a touch so soft it made her breath catch. Then you never will be, he promised. And in that quiet moment, under the soft glow of the lantern, a blind girl who had lost everything found the one person who saw her more clearly than anyone ever had. And the silent cowboy who had lived a life of solitude finally found something worth protecting with his whole heart. Dear viewers, if you want more emotional and powerful stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Your support means the world and helps these beautiful stories reach more people.